that is a huge trend, and you have to realize that there is massive opportunities getting created for lawyers, incredible opportunities, right? If you are not realizing, if you are not thinking, then you're a fool. You deserve to be like crushed. If you know, just think, imagine, like in front of you, this huge evolution. Imagine when India got independent, it was a huge change, right? Anybody who lived there, they were thrilled. They realized that, oh, we are under the British, now we are becoming independent. It's like this. For lawyers, you should be celebrating. The kind of formalization this country is happening, you should be like, wow, lawyers are going to have a field time. It's like that for you. You should distribute sweets. But most people don't even realize that what opportunities are getting created. They are not thinking even. Okay, it's a pity. But that's good for you, because you are going to think about it, right? If the all others don't think, doesn't matter, you are going to think about it. There is a complete digital disruption of everything we know, right? For a lot of people, they used to resist, digital disruption. They used to say, hey, computer, I don't know. I am old school. I will do it the way I have done it for all these years. Yeah. Now they can't do that. There was a time, this was in 2013, 14. I was a young lawyer, 2-3 years of experience. There was one senior counsel. He was not a senior counsel then, but a very senior person, and he became senior counsel later in Hyderabad. I told him in a conference after we were chatting, right? So we told him that, sir, don't you think there should be online arbitration? Because I was thinking of starting an online arbitration, setup and all of that. And I went and told this person that, there shouldn't there be. He said, what a stupid idea. How will you do cross-examination in an online arbitration? Like, why? He said, this is a very bad idea. Horrible. It is not possible to argue the nuances of law online. It has to be done in physical. Okay, fine. And he shouted at me almost. Okay. And I'm like, okay, fine. All right, sir. Thank you. And then, I actually had started a online arbitration institution, and I got 2,000 different companies to put these clauses in their, of this arbitration institute, which is an online arbitration institute, in their contracts. Okay. Then the first dispute came up, and it obviously, we appointed an arbitrator and everything. We appointed a retired judge as an arbitrator, because we know that it can run into problem in the court. And it was challenged in a court, in a high court. I won't take names. And the judge was so, upset that how can there be online arbitration? They're afraid that, if there is online arbitration, somehow it will impact their, I don't know, whatever, right? So he cancelled, he pressurized both the parties to consent to appointing a different judge. And then he appointed a different judge as an arbitrator, and that judge refused to take this appointment, saying that I have too many dates, I cannot accept one more arbitration. Then these people are running around trying to find an arbitrator for 3 months, right? Just because the judge do not agree that there should be online arbitration. Okay. And then we shut down. Like after some time, we shut down this online arbitration institute, because we realized that the judges are so hostile. It is not possible to do it online without, serious policy intervention from the government or something. We said, okay, let's not try this. There are 100 other things to do. So we shut this down. Okay. But imagine, those people are now doing the same judge who threw out that matter, saying, no, online, what is online arbitration? Now he's doing online hearing. How is he doing justice now? Right? How is that senior counsel arguing in online matters? Total digital disruption. All the people who said, no, we don't accept online, had to accept online. They're happily doing it, and they're happy for it. Now they're happy. Judges are happy that there is online hearings, right? They like it better than physical hearings, many of them, right? Lawyers, senior counsels are the happiest people in the world because of online hearing. They're like, this is very good. Now I can argue anywhere. I don't have to run from court to court. I can accept more matters. Brilliant, right? So this is what happens, and complete digital, all the people who are resisting, and cross-examination not happening. But how long, Rakhi, before it starts happening? It is happening in other countries. Sometime it is going to happen here also. It is not happening because so many lawyers are still resisting it. So many people are still resisting cross-examination. But if it goes on for, one more year, do you think they can postpone it for a year? Right? Will the judges, will those lawyers take risk of opening the courts and coming physically and doing it? It's not happening. Cross-examination happening in CBI matters. See, it's happening somewhere. Slowly it will become normalized. All the people who says cross-examination not possible online, they'll find out a technology to do it online. And then they'll be like, please do it, otherwise get lost, right? In Supreme Court, a lot of lawyers tried to go back to physical hearing. Other lawyers resisted. So there is now a rule that if both parties agree for physical hearing, only then physical hearing will happen. But both parties don't agree. Always there's a lawyer who says, no, I can't come, it is risky for me. And then it happens online. Okay. So things will go online, like it is inevitable. Like, it's like the snowball effect. It has started rolling, the snowball has started rolling. Now it is gathering momentum. Nobody will be able to stop it. You know why? Because this is better. There will be so many people who will not want to go back to the old system. And there are a lot of people who want to go back to the old system. But a lot of people are not willing to go back to the old system. And slowly, this will become more and more powerful, and this will take over, because this is a better system. Better systems always take over. Remember how when computer came in India, I don't know if you're old enough to have seen that. I'm from Calcutta. There the trade unions did huge rallies, did dharna, saying that we don't want computers will cause job loss, it is bad for us, we don't want computers, cholvena, and they managed to stop companies in Calcutta from using computers. They had that time a computer used to cost like 1 crore, okay, and those computers were bought and they could not be used because trade union said nobody will use this computer. If anybody use the computer, they'll beat them up. Okay. So this was the situation. Okay. So, but now look at what has happened, right? Over time, because it was so much better, it got adopted overall, right? There are always those people who will fight it, but eventually digital disruption is winning, and it is happening everywhere. It's not happening in one sector of the society, right? It's happening everywhere. How long will the judicial system say no to it when it is happening everywhere? Lawyers are forced to go online. All the lawyers who are online, they have online billing management system, online workforce management system. They will win. The people who are not using computers, not using online systems will lose out because they are not as efficient. Can you imagine today a lawyer who's trying to practice law with these SCC volumes, do not use a computer, competing with a very junior lawyer who uses a computer, knows how to use digital databases? Do they have any chance of winning the case without using, or they have to hire a junior who can use the computer, right? If you don't know how to use a computer, can you today really compete with somebody who can use a computer? And this will how it will become. People will go online. The people who don't go online will lose out, disappear. They cannot fight for too long. And there is a complete digital disruption of everything we know is happening. It's not just online e-commerce or anything. Everything. Your local corporation is going online. Okay, every work is happening online. Your government department is going online. Everything. People are using people who never used softwares are using softwares, learning computers. Okay, and that is where I want to talk about software as a service. This is one technology sector which has benefited the most in this whole. Somebody is asking me, sir, aap CLAT ki class lete ho? There is something called Project Maverick. We are Law Sikho, we are an organization. There are CLAT classes that happen. I used to take CLAT classes 10 years back. Now I don't. Now I do more advanced stuff. Okay. But you attend this, you will benefit from it, Vaishnav. So there is software as a service, which is completely transforming the entire world, right? We are using Zoom. This is software as a service. Okay, this is a software as a service. So every month we have to pay something to Zoom. If you are using it for free also, it's a premium product. There's a free thing, but to get certain benefits, right? We have to pay money to Zoom. right? Similarly, there are businesses, everybody is using different software as a service. To give you an example, earlier when we were in the office, right, we didn't need any software to manage our sales. Now we have a software for which we have so far paid 20 lakh rupees for that software for 1 year of use. Okay, for managing our sales team. It helps us to keep track of performance of all the people who are making calls, right? We are tracking how they're performing. They're working from home, so you need to know if they're working or not, are they being productive or not, what has been their weekly performance, monthly performance, all of that, right? So there's a software which helps us to do it, and we are paying this much money to that company. Can you imagine the kind of money being spent on software? We would have never done it. We thought it's too expensive before. We never did it. We just paid for a software which is going to help us to automate our marketing. Earlier, we never was paying for this, but we have to pay 2 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees per month we are going to pay for that software, which helps us to automate a lot of functions. It's a software as a service, and there are many. Do you guys know any software as a service companies? And it's only us. All companies around the world have started paying for these softwares, which they were not even wanting before. Now they are having to, because you're working remotely. How can you manage? We are thinking that we need to get a software which is a remote workplace, which will be able to help us to manage, protect data, okay, so that it is just not on people's computers. Okay, so digital workplace.